like to welcome all of you to taking your life very seriously, to progress in spiritual path. I mean, you have many options, but you decided to really make this life your last life in material world. It's wonderful, very rare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Jayam Vishnupad Paramhangsa Paribrajagacharya Statara Satasi Simat Sila Bhai Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Das Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Govinda गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाए. वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जाए. मायापुर नवोदय धाम की जाए. जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए. राधा गोविंद धाम की जाए. न्यूयॉर्क भक्त बिंद की जाए. समवेत वैष्णव बिंद की जाए. श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास की जाए. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Shashadevi Guruvani Pachani Nivishesha Shunabhadi Paschata Deshata. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirai. Nastaprayesu abhadresu Nitam Bhagavato Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. So today we are going to recite third canto Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14, entitled by Srila Prabhupada as Pregnancy of Diti in the Evening. Anyone knows who were born originally in the evening? I'm sure you heard this. This is in this third canto. Very soon you come, 20 chapter. Yeah. That's true. But before, originally. Yeah, Prabhupada says pregnancy of Diti in the evening. So all the evil force, Brahma's first creation, even they were attracted to him. The gay mentality was born in the evening. Little scary. When you come to chapter 20, you will discover it. Very nice. So today's verse, Esha te aham vidhaswami priyam bhiru jat ichhasi tasya kamam na kah kurjat siddhis traivargiki jataha. Esha te aham vidhaswami priyam briru jad ichhasi Tasya kamam naka kurjat siddhistrai vargiki jataha esha te ham vidaswami priyam virujat ichhasi tasya kamam naka kurjat siddhistrai vargiki jataha esha te ham vidaswami priyam bhiru jadichhasi tasya kamam naka kurjat siddhistrai vargiki jata esha te ham vidasami priyam bhiru jadichhasi rakama jankurja esha te ham vidasami priyam bhiru jadichhasi kamam na jakurjat Istarviki jataha Esha te ham vidasami Idam virodashasi Asa kamam na kargurjat Siddhistrai vargiki jata Esha te ham vidasami priyam viru jadichhasi tasya kamam naka kurjat siddhistrai vargiki jataha. Mothers. Esha te ham vidasami priyam viru jadichhasi tasya kamana kurjat siddhistrai virgiki jataha. Esha ham vidasami priyam viru na jadichhasi tasya kamam naka kurjat siddhistrai vargiki jataha. Synonyms. Esha, this, te, your request. Aham, I. Vidashami, shall execute. Priyam, very dear. Viru, O afflicted one. Jat, what? Ichhasi, you are desiring. Tasyaha, her. Kamam, desires. Na, not. Kaha, who? Kurjat, would perform. Siddhihi, perfection of liberation. Traivargiki, three. Jataha, from whom? Traivargiki means three varga, but Prabhupada put three, is fine. Three varga means three aspect of goal. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. O if afflicted one, I shall forthwith gratify whatever desire is dear to you. For who else but you is the source of the three perfections of liberation? Purport. The three perfections of liberation are religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. For a conditioned soul, the wife is considered to be the source of liberation because she offers her service to the husband for his ultimate liberation. Conditional material existence is based on sense gratification. And if someone has the good fortune to get a good wife, he is helped by the wife in all respects. If one is disturbed in his conditional life, he becomes more and more entangled in material contamination. A faithful wife is supposed to cooperate with her husband in fulfilling all material desires so that he can then become comfortable and execute spiritual activities for the perfection of life. If, however, the husband is progressive in spiritual advancement, the wife undoubtedly shares in his activities, and thus both the wife and husband profit in spiritual perfection. It is essential, therefore, that girls as well as boys be trained to discharge spiritual duties so that at the time of cooperation, both will be benefited. The training of the boy is brahmacharya, and training of the girl is chastity. A faithful wife and spiritually trained brahmachari are a good combination for advancement of the human mission. Very beautiful and complete purport. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Genanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namo Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanshcha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpa Taruvesya Kripa Sindhubhaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanibho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So this is a chapter about Prajapati procreator of all the species, Kashyapa Muni's details already began this canto, and it will continue a few more. This is a very good example of our ISKCON society, where just in case some of you may not know, we have over 50% Matajis in our movement. In case, if you didn't know. So, I get little bit involved with ISKCON Sannyas ministry with Prahladananda Maharaj. Every week we have a meeting. So we discuss about training each candidates. Sutaba Prabhu was such a wonderful, for a few years I had privilege to, not mentoring, but we are mentoring each other. It was very nice. We are still a very close friend. He took sannyas, very nice. And Ekalabya Prabhu also, you know him. Bhakti, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. Very nice. I don't know before there was a mentoring or not. I don't think in ISKCON they had. Prahladananda Maharaj says it was a very funny thing that he says he went to GBC meeting in 82 with Jayadutta Maharaj. He was not GBC that time, but some or other he went there. And anyway, I won't get details, but one GBC said, there is a two here. Anybody knows them? So out of 32 GBC say, except one. He said, no. It's all right, give them sannyas, then everybody will know. So it's like, we didn't have any standard. But now there is a really heavy standard. There is a sannyas college, really heavy training for 5 years. And one of the training is, how do you respect grihasthas? How do you see the Matajis? And the whole sexology, the details given to the candidates to be aware fully. Of course, sannyasi candidates are also generally very elevated soul. So it's very nice. And this is one of the chapter also they bring. So in our research we found what is the origin of sex? I'm sure you read Bhagavatam first canto. So this is one topics in Brahma Samhita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes very clearly that origin of the sex is where Radha Krishna's tremendous attraction for each other. Now originally the absolute truth is one, non-dual substance. Radha Krishna Oiche Sada, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted in Adilila chapter 4, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, Radha Krishna Oiche Sada Eki Sarup, Lila Ras Asadite Dhare Dui Rup. Radha Krishnas are one originally, not two. But to increase their transcendental mellow of love, they expanded one non-dual substance into two forms. It's not a male and female incompleteness. In this world, male and female incomplete on the bodily level. But Radha Krishnas are not like this. They are one. They are not going out of their way to get help or feel themselves complete. They are eternally complete. In other words, Krishna is eternally complete. Radharani is complete potency of Krishna. When Radharani comes out from Krishna, how much Radharani left in Krishna? Would you like to guess? Radharani is the complete potency of Absolute. When Radharani comes out of Krishna from his body, Krishna's body and Krishna is same, it's two separate. How much is left within Krishna? Complete, 100%. But yes, Om Purnamada. When Krishna gives you 100%, some life, hopefully this life, you'll get that Vastu Siddhi. Not this life, but end of this life. According to Krishna book, chapter 28, middle till end, you'll see Prabhupada explains, when we leave this world, what will happen to us? It's such a joyful journey. I feel like to dance already. Just by reading that chapter, it's so exciting. You feel like what is going on with these people outsider? How do we make them hear these confidential things? They should just fill up the temples every moment because their journey will be over. They're looking for that ultimate happiness. So at one point, when you leave this world, then you come and enter into a planet where Krishna is performing Leela. There where Krishna will accept you. That is Vastu Siddhi. And that Vastu Siddhi, Krishna actually literally gives himself 100% to you. But it is very interesting because I don't know how you word it. When you say 100%, the idea is like 100% of what? 100% of 100% and remain 100%. It's like a word juggler. It's very difficult. So, according to Padma Puran, the Lord, Absolute Truth, who is complete by himself, that complete by himself is called Aptakam, Atmaram. Those words are very details given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Means Krishna is 100% satisfied at every moment. Even he's crying or he wants breast milk of Mother Yashoda in Damodar Leela, but he's still 100% satisfied. But then why he's crying? You may put a logic. You follow? Because two parts of the Leela has to be understood. There is a Atmaram, Aptakam, and there is Pararamata. Atmaramata, Pararamata. Two sides of the same coin. Krishna is eternally satisfied. At the same time, he is also expanding. Jiva Goswami Pad gives a good analogy on this, that you may whistle. I don't know if anybody ever did that. Do you do in temple? Something like that. It sounds good, but when you put that same breath through a flute, what happened? Much better. So, Jiva Goswami Pad says that one's whistle sounds good, but when it passes through his own creation or his own potency, it creates a more pleasing. That's why he is always running after his own devotee. It's not that he is not complete. He is complete. It's coming from him. It's the same breath passing through the bamboo, you can say, but it creates a beautiful. So he is after, and you'll see those verses like so details given in chapter 4. That why Krishna is after his own devotees. Krishna has an interest after Prabhupada. See, originally, even in 11th canto, the purpose of creation and then what is his purpose behind this entire creation. So there are few verses, but one verse he says, Nirapeksham munim shantam bimatsara samadarshanam. Anubrajami aham nittam pujayet angri renubi. This was spoken by Krishna himself to the world, but it was also spoken by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur when his Guru Maharaj's body was about to taken away by non-disciple or other sect of claimer. They claim that Gaur Krishnadas Babaji belongs to them. But then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, you all know that story, right? he stood up. He said, I am the only disciple of my Guru Maharaj. And then there was a challenge on the sects. And literally, one by one, all so-called renounced or other, they left one by one. He came, what is that? 3 years to 1 year, then to 3 months, then to 3 days. I was like, scary, like everybody left. And even the police officer asked, like, how do you trust? He said, I'll take their word. But they didn't have I guess there is a mystic feeling. When you are cheating, I should not say when you are cheating, when I'm cheating something, it is very difficult to really face the honest person. So, sex is a wonderful way to test also how pure one is. I mean, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, that's what he did. And he got that body. At that time he said, yes, this is my Guru Maharaj's desire, you may say. But they claim that Gaurkishordas Babaji expressed that his body should be dragged around Navadvip street. I know, it sounds really like gross. But then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur quoted this verse. Pujayat Angri, Angri means lotus feet, Renubi. Even to get the foot dust of my Guru Maharaj's Lord Krishna will come down to carry him on his shoulder. Now they have no idea. If you really, even when I heard it, I didn't understand why Lord Krishna had to come down to carry Gaurkishordas Babaji's body. Because Krishna expressed how he is going to purify this creation that he created. He said he will purify by the foot dust of those great souls. He did not say, just like this, I'll come and deliver all of you, or Sudarshan Chakra will cut it off. I mean, he did many times. In battlefield he did. But in this case, he said, by the foot dust of the pure devotees. So it's very important. Like few things can destroy our desire to enjoy separately. What is the first thing that origin, cause of this sex desire came to us? What is the origin? Radha Krishna's, that's a reflection. But how did it enter in us? Separate interest. False ego comes after. You have misused your free will. When you ask yourself, I don't know, nobody kept track. And I never heard in Biraja or anywhere they have any timing machine or anything. So I don't think anybody can ever answer that. I mean, Krishna can. But there is one point, each soul, conditioned soul, misuse the free will. And the moment they misuse the free will, there's a birthday festival or birth of false ego. There's a Prabhupada, in one lecture he says, false ego is a product of material nature. Actually it comes from Lord Shiva. But it was born before the boundary or demarcation of material nature. Like once you are liberated, or you can say you are transcended from three modes, you come to a border area. You know border? We discussed that. The border, that's where Lord Shiva's area is. And false ego literally dissolved there, but that doesn't mean you are entering into spiritual domain. Unless you have two things very substantial. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur made a very nice point. One is, who is guiding you in spiritual path? Are you embracing that lotus feet of your Guru properly? And tremendous desire to serve the Krishna divine couple. These two will allow you to cross the border to go to spiritual domain. Otherwise, chances are to come back. Even you are liberated, you will fall down. It's scary. But it's a healthy fear, maybe, I would say, healthy fear. So, back to this. Then, Brahma Samhita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives a brief description, the origin of the last. And then Srila Prabhupada, first canto, third chapter, if you look at the last end, Nigama Kalpaturu Galitam Phalam, in that verse, last, sex psychology, anybody read that? Prabhupada gave a very nice paragraph. And it is there, you can literally see, 111. I'll just read it, what Srila Prabhupada writes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur specifically deals with the original and pure sex psychology, Adi Rasa. This is the paragraph begins. Devoid of all mundane inebriety, the whole material creation is moving under the principle of sex life. In modern civilization, sex life is the local point of all activities. Wherever one turns his face, he sees sex life predominant. Therefore, sex life is not unreal. It is reality, is experience in the spiritual world. Now, Prabhupada gave a very interesting key point. It's also experience in the spiritual world. The material sex life, you have it, Maharaj? Someone has? 111, the Bhagavatam first. The material sex life is but a perverted reflection of the original fact. The original fact is in the absolute truth. Thus, the absolute truth cannot be impersonal. What a logic Prabhupada has. I like that. Very nice. It is not possible to be impersonal and contain pure sex life. Try to talk to the impersonalist about it. Consequently, the Prabhupada did say here, impersonalist philosophers have given indirect impetus to the abominable mundane sex life because they have overstressed the impersonality of the ultimate truth. Consequently, man without information of the actual spiritual form of sex has accepted perverted material sex life as the all in all. There is a distinction between sex life in the diseased material condition and spiritual sex life. This Srimad Bhagavatam will gradually elevate the unbiased reader to the highest perfectional stage of transcendence. It will enable him to transcend the three modes of material activities, fruitive action, speculative philosophy, and worship of functional deities as inculcated in Vedic verses. Bhagavatam 10th canto gives a very straight answer to this. How do you control sex life and actually literally come out of it? This is in Ras Lila. And Jayapataka Maharaj actually had a talk with Prabhupada about it. I remember one class he mentioned that. You know the conclusion of Ras Lila? The 5th chapter, 10th canto, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. This 5th chapter is famous in India, especially the holy dhams. Rasa Pancha Adhyay, they call it, Rasa Pancha Adhyay. The conclusion verse of Ras Lila, that Vikriditam Brajabudubhi idam cha Vishnu Saddhayanito Anusrinayat Atha Varnayadya Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhamano Kama Rida Roga Ashu Apahenati Achirena Dhira. You will become very sober and gentle, Dhira. When you hear the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. Now you may say, how come it is like a jumping to that? So Jayapataka Maharaj asked Prabhupada that when I'm thinking of the gopis' relationship with Krishna, it's very difficult, I get disturbed. Prabhupada said, then you go to Bhagavatam first canto and start again from beginning. Because this is the 10th canto. And whatever Bhagavatam says is correct. But maybe my understanding of the first canto is not clear yet. First canto, second canto are the lotus feet. So it has to be gradual progress like this. So it's very nice. The last verse of Rasa Panchadhyaya. Like when we come to deity, when you look at the face of the deity, what did Prabhupada say? That there is a one part of this Radha Govinda, if you stare at that part of Govinda's body, can someone help me? That it will really destroy your lust. Yeah. Eyebrows. Where did Prabhupada say? Nectar of devotion. So we should meditate. When we come to the deity, we should meditate. Even if I think I'm liberated, it doesn't affect me, that's a danger signal. Even we may experience that I'm liberated, I'm not attracted to sex life, but it's not a safe zone. It's better to always look at the beautiful face of Radha Govinda. Meditate few minutes. What's the harm? Rather it will, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12:12, Shreyahi genam abhasat genat dhenam vishishyate. If you can apply this logic that, okay, I'm meditating it, it should affect me. Just like this, Krishna says. Then, Shreyahi genat abhasat genat dhenam vishishyate. Then from that application of knowledge, you will be able to meditate. If we don't apply intelligence, if we don't apply knowledge, we cannot meditate on Krishna's lotus feet. And many devotee faces very struggle to meditate. Mother Akuti, senior devotee in Alachua, she said, I come out of the altar, I dress for 1 hour. After a few minutes, I forgot how they look like. So why is like that? She was so honest, you know. She said, I can't believe, I cannot even focus like how Krishna and Radharani's face was. I was dressing them, how come I forgot? Yeah, it's difficult. Because we have a layer of coverings. You know? Indriyani parani ahur indriyabha paro mana. Manastu para buddhi buddhistu paratasya. This is material hierarchy. Where is the soul? Sense objects, above is senses, above is mind, above is intelligence. Then the soul. Soul is very high. So when we are speaking or when we are thinking, how this route taking place? When thought comes, when emotion comes, we have to detect. Other day we discussed, we have to detect. We must detect. Otherwise we won't be able to cross it. And biggest problem we face when it comes on the bodily level or subtle body level, physical body or subtle body. Subtle body, what is the biggest obstacle we have? It comes from intelligence, doubts. What doubt does? Literary doubt, you know what? Really, I don't want to say it, but really there is Krishna what is doing in spiritual world? I wonder, is this real fact? Or is it is an idea? No, I think I should trust Prabhupada. Your mind goes like this. These are signs of doubts. Really, what's going on in spiritual world? Is it true really? Really like unlimited devotees are dancing, they are all happy, they never get tired. It sounds so good, but is it really real? This kind of a little doubt, it's coming from our subtle body. You follow? It's not coming from the soul. It's coming from the subtle body. So this is very important that associate with the more advanced devotee where these doubts can be removed. On our own, this doubt will not be removed. It's very dangerous. And the physical body has another big obstacle. Because physical body is connected with the mind. The soul is not connected with the physical body directly. Soul is connected with the subtle body. Subtle body is connected with the physical body. So soul has no idea, clue about this sex or bodily enjoyment. But through the subtle body, getting the experience. Whatever the experience comes, he is taking it as it is. But not necessarily that's the fact. So when the desire comes from where? From the mind. Because mind has a pre-impression. So many life. So when the desire is coming, then you think like, okay, we should become serious devotee. I should meditate on Krishna. I should chant seriously and pay my attention. Yes, we hear this. But then the physical body, the desire to enjoy is like standing right there. And then the doubt, I don't know, spiritual happiness. I mean, it's a good idea, but I don't have experience. So you have a two enemy right in front and you really want to go above it. It's a challenge, very big challenge. It is definitely challenge, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, with the devotee's help, you will come across. Aham tarishyami duranta param. You have to take a vow. Aham tarishyami. I want to cross this insurmountable ocean of nations. Tamo mukunda angri nishevayava. How I am going to cross this? Tarishyami means I will cross. The most important thing Krishna says, why he likes out of 8,400,000 human more dear to him. I was thinking like, I thought it was a cow Krishna likes the most. Well, Krishna gives a good logic there. He said, I like the human body the most dearest to my heart amongst all 8,400,000 species. I mean 8 million species. No, 8,400,000, the human is 400. Because in human life, you can inquire and you can actually approach Guru. You can reflect. You can have a determination. Animal cannot have determination. I want to cross this material ocean. Just like Prabhupada put for this Kasyapa Muni, he could have says, no, this is not a proper time. But Prabhupada writes he is spiritually weak. It's not Kasyapa Muni. Majority devotee faces the same thing. When life challenges comes, they really face very challenges. But is it possible to overcome? Yes. Now we have to be also very practical. Just like we have a physical body. If you say, I'm not going to listen my body. I'm going to do what I want to do. But you have to listen to body also. If body is tired and you don't give rest, this happened in Alachua. There was I won't say the name because I love them. They're senior devotee. They said, okay, we're going to do this. Get up early morning. We're going to join the club with Prana Govinda. We are going to do it very good. I said, you have to be gradually you transcend. You don't jump on it. Spiritual life is not like jumping over the material boundary or something, wall or something. It will happen immediately. Not exactly like this. It's a gradual. So what happened? This Prabhu is a nice devotee, very nice, sincere, serious devotee. He said, I'm going to just chant and give very little time for the body to rest. So he did it for 3 days. On the 4th day, he didn't show up for Guru Puja, not even Mangalarti. I was wondering, is he sick? So I made a call. No answer. It's like, wow, it's something very strange. So he answered like 2 o'clock. I said, in the afternoon. I said, are you okay, Prabhu? He said, yeah. I don't know what happened to me. I didn't hear the alarm went, everything. I had no idea what happened. I'm practicing 48 years. What happened?
I say, oh, don't ask me. I have no idea. You have to ask to yourself. or Krishna will be the best person, but if you have access to ask him. So what I'm trying to say that I learned this, that this body also needs a certain amount of rest. You must take care. In order for our journey become smooth, whatever bodily demand, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, whatever is demand, you have to give enough quota. Not more, not less. But that discipline has to be there. If you think like you can beat the system, it's not going to happen. I mean, Krishna can make, but did Krishna made anybody for anybody? I don't know. Possible. So if we have a disciplined life, we can do best sadhana and we can progress very steady. Just like in chapter 14 Bhagavad Gita, if you even to meditate on Krishna, you need mind. And you know the process you do? Through the speculation to guide the mind. Now you'll say, but mental speculation is bad. But if you look, if you have a Bhagavad Gita, 14 chapter 1, first verse in the purport Prabhupada right beginning, that this chapter, the three modes, the 14th chapter is three modes. If one can understand through the philosophical speculation, then you will come to bhakti. No, I'm not going to do speculation. Well, you don't have access. We have to be realistic. No, you do the speculation, but make sure it's back up by the Acharya's opinion, back up by some scriptures. I mean, Gaudiya scripture, not any scripture. Then your journey is safe. This is practically. And if you say, no, I don't want to do anything, then you will be corrupted. All of a sudden you will I'm tired of Hare Krishnas, I'll go. Take a little break, I'll be back. And we may not see you for decades. It will scare you a little bit. So we have to be very practical and realistic. We have to have a nice association. And then if somebody, Narad Muni is the best example of brahmachari. But even Narad Muni was asking Krishna one time, I go to material world to preach, but I don't know what is their suffering. They talk about lust, greed. I don't get it. So can you just give me the material suffering, experience something? Krishna says, no, I can't do that. I never do that to my eternal associate. You are my eternal associate, I can't do that. So then Narad Muni was contemplating. After some time he said to the Lord, that means you don't love me. Krishna got very, emotionally affected. Oh yeah, Krishna has a mood swing too, but it is transcendental mood swing. He said, Narada, don't ever speak like this. He said, well, then I want something you're not giving me. He said, but that's material world is unnecessary suffering. It doesn't have a base. I don't want any of my pure devotee to just unnecessary go through. He said, well, since you love me, you are claiming, then you should give, must give. He said, let me think. He said, let's go to the material world. So when they come here, sometimes not necessarily they dress like Narada and Krishna. They dress like a two Brahmana all of a sudden appeared. It's a beautiful Brahma Vaivarta Purana explained this. So Narad Muni and Krishna walking as a two Brahmanas. And as they were going by, Krishna says, I feel a little thirsty. Can you get me some water? He says, sure. So as Narada walking, he saw a beautiful pond or lake. Nice. So crystal water. And as he's walking, he started feeling all of a sudden warm, just imagine swimming pool and you are sweating. How you feel? Like you're hot. You feel like to just jump in it. So Narad Muni thought, okay, I'll just take a little bath and then bring the fresh water to the Lord. So he went underwater. When he came out, he came as a beautiful girl. Very attractive girl. Can you imagine Narad Muni as a beautiful girl? He forgot who he was. So as he came out, he was like wondering, where am I? And then he saw the king passing by with his ministers and all the soldiers, horses, elephants, all in a big procession. But the king noticed in the small island from nowhere, a girl is there, very attractive. So he sent the messenger, find out who she is. And so they corresponded with him. Though she's like lost. And she's the very perfect, beautiful to be the queen. So the king married. And here, how would I say? Queen Narada, I'll say that way. Is that okay? So it'll be easy. So Queen Narada was communicating. I'm going to say she, otherwise you'll get confused. She was communicating and they had a children, 50 boys. I mean, it's few years it took, 50 boys. And they all grow up, the royal family, and the priest comes, the Hare Krishna devotee, they said, please come, Janmashtami is coming. There's a big festival we're arranging. 50 children to take care. Queen Narada is answering. There's no time. Give more treasury to the Hare Krishna people. They can make a big festival more. And I'll try to bring, but it's difficult to bring 50 children, very difficult. So this way the life passed by, then the children grown up. Then one time Queen Narada proposing to the husband king that you should divide the kingdom into 50 and let them have their own. So he did it, they got married, and the 50 small kingdom flourishing, everything taking place. Queen Narada is enjoying the, motherly or in-law, some kind of a happiness in the material world when you have a big family. Maybe brahmacharis, they don't have any clue. But still we can learn from the scripture that there is some happiness. At one point, the wives who became the new small kingdom's queen, because all these children got married. I'm just going too fast. Is that okay? Just giving. So then they started whispering in the ear, your other brother is useless. You should declare war against and take over that kingdom. He should be under you as a minister, not separate king. Just against the brothers. This is the nature of this world. So all of a sudden this whisper started. There was a big war. All the 50 brothers ready to kill each other, to become one over all. But unfortunately, all the children died. Some or other, they all killed each other. And the whole Queen Narada descendant devastated, and Queen Narada started crying, king is crying, everybody's crying. Finally, everybody, ministers, they are suggesting, do some funeral, you have to cremate the body. This is not good. But Queen says, Queen Narada is crying. Says, what's the value of doing anything? All my dream, everything is smashed. What is the value of doing anything, whether funeral or no funeral? Nobody is convinced. Finally, one big Pandit, Brahmana came. He says, no, Queen, you must do it because your children are in heaven. As soon as you cremate them, you can see them in heaven. Say, I don't believe anything anymore. He said, how can you not believe? I am here. I'm agreeing that I'll show you that they are there. He said, okay. So she ordered. So then, after cremation, now you please go and take bath in the river. She went there. When Queen Narada came out as a Narad Muni. And it's like, what happened? Oh, my friend Krishna is standing there with the water. Where did I go? And it's like very embarrassing, like how to tell. So when Narad Muni came back, Krishna says, what happened? Did you see something? You went somewhere, something you went through? He said, no, it's not important. Here is the water. He said, no, I'm just curious. You took a little time. Can you tell me about it? He said, please, I don't feel like to talk about it. Krishna says, I am interested to know. No, no, no. It's not something, topics of discussion. Krishna says, I'm very much interested. Now I'm really interested to know. What happened? Where did you go? What did you do? He said, it's not actually subject will please you at all. And Krishna says, but I am so eager to hear now. And Narad Muni said, no, I don't want to talk about it. And it went to a point, Narad Muni says, this is horrible. Material world is horrible. Krishna says, I already told you before, but you didn't really accept my word. You wanted to experience, so you got experience. What is the conclusion? Say, I don't want to think, even talk about it. Just forget completely forever. So, after that, Krishna was going around and trying to engage Narad Muni in the preaching. And Narad Muni, you know those beautiful pastimes, how Narad Muni came to a material world and he tried to preach. And it took 7 lives for one soul to go back home. So, of course, I didn't talk about so much about the sex. I had a whole class set up for the sex. But then I noticed that I went different route just to establish that how material world is not something ever anyone, any soul, ever asked to repeat once you get the glimpse of taste in spiritual realm. This is the conclusion of Gop Kumar's, conclusion of Narad Muni's, all these great devotees. So, we are ending here. Even Arjuna, he said, there is a famous verse, was it 336? Athakena prajuktayam papa charati purusha. This is very challenging, no? This question, 336 was the nice. 337 is the answer, but 336 is relevant to our life. We see that how. Anyway, I made a lot of questions. I have the answer, but I never can speak this evening. You can read, I'll just give you a little clue about it. 2.6.8, it talks about the sex pleasure. What is sex pleasure? It is not the skin. We are not, to be honestly, any one of you are attracted to the material nature? No, you are not. You are not attracted to the earth, air, water, fire, ether. If I tell Gopal Champu Prabhu, I have 1 kilo air or 1 gallon water, will he be fascinated? To be honestly, I don't think so. So what we are attracted, what material Maya Devi, she plays with these 8 elements and creates something that allures us. It is not the material elements we are attracted. It's an illusion she creates with these 8 things. Like a baking cake or something she bakes or something. She plays with these 8 elements and create a beautiful image for the opposite. Like, wow, that guy or that girl is like, where is this illusion coming from? She creates a little covering. And Prabhupada writes this, Bhagavatam 2.6.8. I'm sure you all passed because you are on 3rd canto. Prabhupada writes, there is a coating, little coating on our private path, Mataji's and Prabhuji's. That's why it's given. And when they come in contact, it creates an unbelievable sensation. But actually has nothing to do with your soul or anything. It's just that you are experiencing. Now, how many of you love Daksha Prajapati? Can you raise your hand? How many of you love him? Come on, not even one? What's wrong with him? He's a famous Karmakandya, Brahmana. You can put many titles of him. Do you know how people enjoy sex? Actually through him. just to let you know. Because without any demigod, right now I'm speaking. How do I speak? I'm not speaking actually. I'm only desiring to speak. There is an initial cause, initiating cause, there's a sanctioning cause, then there's an instrumental cause, then efficient cause, ingredient cause. All these causes, if you analytically study, only thing I'm doing is initiating. I want to talk about this, how it is happening. So I'm desiring, there is a pracheta, one demigod, out of, this is 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse, I believe, 29, 30, 31. You'll see there's a, well, it's given 11 demigods, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, he said 14 demigods right now in our body. In each of your body has a 14 demigod involved. Otherwise your body will not function. But we take the credit, I am this, I'm doing this. This is a very big illusion. So, I am desiring, then Pracheta takes this palate, chin, teeth, tongue together and borrow the language called English and creating this sound vibration. Then fire god, literally putting the word. You follow? And then there is a air god taking to your ear. And in this ear, the senses are product of Rajagun, passion, produce all the senses. And the object of the senses are product of Tamogun. And perception of the senses are Sattvagun. So three modes are playing, full time, full speed. Nobody is aware, but that's all they do. So then the sound, three demigods are involved, even while I'm speaking. Then another demigod, air demigod, taking it to Maharaj's ear. Then inside the ear there is a drum where the sound creates, there is a drum and it's connected with the brain. So this goes there and Dikpal, the famous Dikpal, is demigod. They are just big demigod, but this connected right now. Right now he's listening even what I'm talking about him. So hopefully he doesn't get angry with me. Then it's going there and it's connecting with the mind and the brain there in order to, what he's saying, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I'm familiar with this word. So that's how you're taking it. But actually you are not taking it, you are being provided by those demigods. You are just floating, 2.17 in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes, Esho anuratma chetasha veditebbo, jasmin prane panchada sangvived. Where the soul in this body? Floating. You are not fixed in this body. You are not this body, you are not the subtle body, but you are floating in life air, somewhere in this. And when the life air, why we need to know very details on this? Because when you become actually advanced, transcend in a bhava stage, close to bhava, ashukti. Prabhupada says almost ashukti stage you are out of the modes. I'm fascinated with that. Trying to go there by all your mercy and you all are maybe already there. Then when you come to that level, the mind, your mind becomes the faculty of bhava. The bhava actually take over the mind. Mind has no separate existence. Isn't cool? Pure devotee doesn't have a separate mind. The mind is their feeling actually. Right now we have a mind. Mind has his own idea. And then intelligence has, discriminating power. So we have a separate in a conditional state, even in purifying. But ultimately, it becomes the faculty. That time, you don't have a separate mind. Like Prabhupada doesn't have a separate mind from himself. His mind is going with him in spiritual world. This is so beautiful. Whatever in his mind he's thinking of Krishna, this is real. It's not like a separate another person. For a conditioned soul, yes. So it's very nice. So everybody understand, these 14 demigods playing this whole game. whatever you're doing, you walking, Indra is there with this leg. Indra is with the hand. There's another demigod called Vishnu. Vishnu is a Vishnu Tattva, but Vishnu is also another demigod, also help Indra with our leg, human legs. They walk like this. It's very fascinating how all these demigods makes us. So it's a coating, when they enjoy the sex, it's not like they are enjoying the sex. Who is enjoying? It's a Daksha is giving a glimpse, perception, and the soul, through this mind, dirty mind, is thinking, yes, I'm the man, I'm enjoying, or whatever, there's some false impression. This whole thing is a hallucination. Therefore, those who are serious devotee, they seriously take vow to purify that existence, and you will come out of it. But chances are there, just like Prabhupada is put in Bhagavad Gita, that the bar keeps the prisoner inside. I'm sure you read this. This is Bhagavad Gita in the purport. What keeps the prisoner in the prison? The bar, the gate, everything is locked. If there is no gate, no door, you think anybody would be in the prison? If you really think, no. So what bar in the bar or the gate or iron keeps us in the material world? The impression that I was enjoying with her or with him or with, I had some impression. This impression things, you cannot purify this without anything but bhakti alone. By chanting, just like we were talking about other day, that when you eat food, purified food, we call prasadam. When you eat food, what happens? Food produces the blood. Generally, blood doesn't produce automatically from your body, from the food. Modern science agree 100% with that. And Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur explained that. Then the blood goes wherever in the body it goes, it carries the consciousness. And that's how you have access to the material or spiritual. So more we never eat unoffered food, then automatically your consciousness will become purified. Just the prasadam itself is so powerful. The water, if we are just only taking prasadam, not outside food or anything. That's why it is so vital, so important that our disciplining life. Then one day you will become completely 100% pure. Your consciousness is 100% pure. Because your connection with anything and everything through the consciousness. Okay, I'm sorry, I went off my... It's yes, mother. Is that okay? Oh, we went over too much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I was actually thinking about this yesterday, and it's funny that you touched on the subject of is my mind ever actually coming from my true ego in this conditioned state? Like when I'm chanting japa and my mind wanders, there's the part of my mind that's wondering, there's the part of my mind that's judging myself for wondering and getting mad at myself, there's all these different parts, and then there's the part that's like, it's okay, just bring it back, or various parts of the mind. Could any of them be my true ego or not yet? Like it's not possible yet.
When we misuse our free will and got attracted by the allure of material nature, then ego came from the Lord Shiva, the border area. The ego in contact with Sattva-gun produced the mind. Ego with Rajagun. In this canto, later on, Kapil Dev will explain. Rajagun produced what produced Rajagun? Intelligence. Also mind, Sattva-gun with the ego produced demigods, so many things, Brahmanas. Everything is product of false ego, but not directly, through the modes, 3 modes. And so when you are taking a spiritual subject directly, say you repeating something Prabhupada said or scripture or. Then what is happening, at that time, your mind, even though it's coming from a sattik, sattvagun, supposed to be, sattva means like a knowledge, peaceful, happiness, like this. But you will see mind is the, you put a logic like, it's a product of sattvagun, but it's always causing like a inertia or aggressiveness. How is this product of sattvagun? Because mind is like a transparent media. So transparent media, whatever it's carrying, it shows like this. Just like a computer. If I get a bad email, it's not really fault of the computer. It's just that it's passing through this. But we address like this, oh, it's a mind disturbing this, mind disturbing this. That's why 6.5, the Krishna gave that, Uddharet Atma, Bhagavad Gita 6.5. Krishna gives the beginning, how important the mind is. Without mind, you cannot deliver yourself. It's very scary. What? So Krishna says this, Uddhar means deliver. Uddharet Atma Atmana ayam, na Atma avashadayet, Atmaiva Atmana bandhur, Atmaiva ripur Atmana. And the mind can become your friend, mind can become your enemy. When it becomes your friend? When? When you follow these scriptures, sadhana, you following guidance, those are called spiritual intelligence. That time mind is under intelligence. That is proper. That is spiritual. When you say material mind means that intelligence, sense gratification, because mind cannot get directly sense gratification, because mind is connected with the senses, and the senses are connected with sense object. You have to go through channel. Like a soul, to enjoy the sense object, he has to go through the mind, through the senses, to the sense object. It's like such a big, like I want to eat something, you have to put another hand. But the soul has its own body. So when we take the spiritual subject, we are directly connected actually at the soul level. But because we don't have an experience of steadiness there, it is there, but through the association of advanced devotee, we can focus more to steady in that level, then we will eventually transcend. One thing very important, transcending is important, but transcending alone is not important. Transforming also very important. That wherever we are surrounding, they all has to be engaged. Yesterday I was making that point, that we have to love Krishna. Can everybody say it loudly? Say, we have to love Krishna in this world, through the world, with the world. Then journey is complete. We cannot artificially beat this system. It's never going to work. Because I have this material body. So I have to engage this body in Krishna service. I cannot think like I'll jump over material fence and reach Krishna. Not possible. So like that. It makes sense?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Before we adjourn this wonderful meeting, you mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 4.1, Prabhupada mentions in the purport about mental speculation. So can you tell us?
14.1.
14.1.
Can you read? You have somebody? You
Yeah,
can just read what Prabhupada said. Philosophical speculation. It will take you to bhakti.
So, he says here, if one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service.
Yes. Mind has a three function, mostly. It has a concoction. It's expert on, concocting. Maybe none of you do. But the whole world is doing. That's all they do, whole day, night, concoct. And argument, dry argument, and speculation. These three things, mind's main function. So you can say, well, Krishna says 6.5 that we have to deliver ourselves through the mind. We don't have other right now. Even though mind takes over in a pure stage, it becomes the bhava, our feeling for Krishna, and mind blends. The material part dissolves And, oh, what happened to your mind? No, that is your feeling for Krishna. It's so sweet. The journey ending is so sweet. But in the beginning it's challenging because you face like sometime you're not Krishna conscious, sometime you're Krishna conscious. How this is happening? Because the mind is still separate from your feeling, separately. So it's very, I would say, fighting sometime in the within. So if we take shelter of the spiritual master's teachings and devotees association, then slowly our mental speculation will go down, and philosophical speculation will still stay, but philosophical speculation will take over, and that becomes spiritual. We cannot give up the speculation, but philosophical speculation will stay above mental speculation. That's all it ultimately. Oh, you are asking that.
Can you just give us an example of what philosophical speculation would be? Just
Philosophical speculation would be, like Gop Kumar, you can think. Gop Kumar, he was really going through this journey. In the material world, it was a mental speculation. He wanted to just explore, right? Even when he came to the Brahmajis, he was just thinking like, what happened all of a sudden? All of a sudden Brahmaji was absent and he took over the Brahma's position. So this like a mental speculation, but he had one thing he had, was a faith on the mantra that Guru Jayanta gave, the faith on the mantra. But then at the end journey, when he started crying to Krishna and confronting that, the philosophy said, your eyes like a lotus petal. Krishna says, but why are you crying? He said, but your eyes is like 1,000,000 times more beautiful than lotus petal. So now, which one is speculation, which is not speculation? I don't have that experience of Gop Kumar, but over there, it is philosophical. Means it is backed up by Krishna. He is experiencing Krishna's beautiful eye. But when he is comparing his memory of mental speculation, he can say, which is not mental speculation in a sense, because lotus petal, everybody saw lotus petal in a life. Did you? It's beautiful actually. It's not just in the book, but if you can look at it, just anywhere, it's like, wow, this is beautiful. And it's a long, beautiful and different layer of a constant changing. Krishna's eye. Benum kanantam aravinda dalayataaksham barhavatam. In that verse he says kanantam. Kanantam means constant, like a changing. So Krishna's even eyes are constantly changing. So beautiful, so attractive. So when he is experiencing this, he said, wow, this is so beautiful, and he started crying. Krishna said, why are you crying? Your journey is over. He said, all this idea they taught me, but these are not true. Now, is it not true? It was a mental speculation, then philosophical speculation. Now it is real. It's all blended in. So this will happen to all of us, for everything. With anything and everything in our whole experience. I don't know if that gives you some idea. But in the beginning, that's how we have to get it, no? Okay, Krishna's eyes is like a lotus petal. So you think like lotus petal. Lotus petal. That's how you have to explain. Make sense? But eventually it will become real, and then you will also give up this. So give up the lotus petal look, because Krishna's eyes is more attractive. This 2.59, Prabhupada says that Vishaya Vinibhartante Nirarasya Dahina. On that verse, that higher taste will replace the lower taste. But in the purport, Prabhupada writes, what? The beauty. That's why it is important that we look at the deity's beauty. And if you find very difficult, be honest to yourself. Prabhupada writes in the second canto, that when you come to see the deity, Okay, Radha Govinda ji. This vision I just said for a moment, it's still contamination of impersonalism. Personalism is eternal. Impersonalism is all, how do you say, incomplete eternity. It is there, but it is not complete. So, like a glimpse, but we didn't pay close attention. Krishna's, Govindaji's eyebrows like this, beautiful nose, eye, they put a dot, they put a tilak. You pay very attention, this is called personalism. I got scared when I read that purport. Prabhupada says that just take a glimpse and walking by. In Darshanarati time we see in Alachua they do, because we have 3 altars. We go very quick. And we go quick. Sometimes you'll see some devotees looking around and looking at the deity and looking something else. What else? This is contamination of impersonalism. Please don't attack them that you are still impersonalist, but help them that you should pay more close attention. If you have even 5 minutes, come and look at the deity, details. This absorption will destroy your all karma impression. He says, dhanat karma phala tegat. Dhanat, from dhana, karma phala, all will be destroyed. What will happen? Tegat santi nirantaram. That time you will feel an inner peace. From that level, pure bhakti will definitely be there. So it is necessary, we must meditate on deity, on your deity. You don't have to fascinate on some painting somewhere you like, because this deity, I think that painting is more attractive to me. That's a mundane conception. This deity is important. You don't have to like, because one devotee told me, he said, in the Google I found a picture of Krishna I like more than my deity. I said, that's a mundane talk. Doesn't sound like, because Mahaprabhu says, Nama, Vigraha, Sarup, these 3, Nama, holy name, Vigraha, deity, and Krishna in Golok, they are all one. He manifested, means you are trying to separate Krishna from his origin. It's not possible. So deity, we should be actually in love with the deities. This is very powerful. And more we spend, 5 minutes, I'm really serious. Just look at the deity, just look at staring, how is ear, how is eyebrow, how is hair, and then appreciate those devotees who dress the deity. And after you do it for a few weeks, I leave my number here, 352-221-0041. You can text me, Prabhu, it didn't work. I'm still disturbed. It's not possible. It's an unbelievable power Prabhupada gave us, but we have to take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. So like that. Is that okay? Thank you, Prabhu. Maharaj, I'm sorry. It just took a little longer time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare.
His Grace Govinda Prabhu ki. And let us, everyone, please show appreciation to His Grace Govinda Prabhu, who will be leaving us this morning just for a few days. He'll be back soon. We'll be seeing when he will again have his association. We so much appreciate you, Prabhu. Thank you.